So we are here with Karma Changer, Derby Daz, JC, and Lightning, and we had some technical issues on the front half of MYST, so I think we might have fixed that. We're able to catch this hole here going into the back nine, and hopefully this will all work out. You guys will be able to watch the rest of their MYST easy, and then round two is going to be Arizona hard. Pray for us. Hopefully this works.
Production booth trying to leverage God in this one. Seems that the pep talk may or may not have worked.
It's a nice conversion from JC there. Looks like he lined it up just fine. So the bridge glitch has been fixed. This is hole number 9. Considered a par 4. You want to skirt your ball just left of that smudge mark with not too much pace, but just enough to get down to the green. We have a 4% ace. Excuse me, this is hole 9, so there's actually only a 2% ace conversion on this hole.
Good shot, Jeff. Oh, I fucking drilled that ball.
That was a little too left and a little too fast from Karma.
Can't help it, he's in montage mode.
Oh, I didn't hit it.
Get there. Yeah.
Nice try.
That was a really good bank try. Alright, after 9 holes, we have Derby Dawes leading the pack at -13. We've got JC -10. Karma taps in that birdie for a -11, and Lightning Bro also at -11. So hole 10. This is the 3rd riskiest hole on the course. That means there's a spread of scores, and you can see one of the reasons why. Getting the timing right and the pace and location are paramount. You've got to get all 3 correct.
On a good day, I'm lucky to get one of those.
I used to try and tuck it in the corner, but it occurred to me this week that you don't, the button doesn't spend a lot of time exactly in the corner. I think Lightning Bro hit like a perfect pace shot to go directly at the button. You want to go about the length of the button away from the corner if you want to give yourself the most leeway in pace there. Now Karma tries to go straight up the center. That you got to pace that one correct. Pace and time it perfectly to have that. Now Derby can go straight over the top since the button is down, but it kind of rolls off the wooden, it kind of bounces off the wooden surface. Very difficult to have a smooth roll down from there, and it bounces over the hole. Only 4% manage an ace here, or have managed an ace. As we go into hole 11, this is the most likely ace on the course. 2/3 of players are able to ace this get this on the first try. I do recommend you can go for the perfect pace like JC just did. I recommend taking a bank off the right side first to give yourself a little leeway. If you hit in the middle of that second dark band, it will bank into that gap, and you can hit it a little harder than you would with the perfect pace that way. Let's see if Derby does that. Looks like he might be lining that up. That's exactly what he does, but he didn't quite hit it hard enough, and something tells me he won't make that mistake again.
Good one.
Demonstrates that shot perfectly. Alright, going into hole 12. There is an ace available here, but only 2 players so far have managed it. That is not... JC does a nice soft shot for the 2. I don't blame anyone for going for the 2 here. It's a fairly uncommon ace. But I think a lot of players have been practicing it this week, and I think we may see more than 2 probably convert it by the end of this weekend. One way to do it is to go right off that right side like it looks like Derby might be doing. No, not quite. Yeah, if you bank with a pretty firm pace about halfway up that hill, it will hit the left side of the button panel, bank again off the left side, and have a chance of rolling into the cup, but nobody really made that attempt this time. But we're happy everyone got their 2s there. Hole 13, this, well, of course, has never been aced yet. And most players are able to get their 3. The 2 can happen, but it's pretty infrequent. I think it's about 8% or less can get their 2 here. And it requires a bit of perfect pace or fortune to bounce off the back of the second button. Right where Karma just hit is my favorite spot to hit that first, right before the panel with the crack on it. That results in the smoothest travel around the first circle.
Ooh, you got in.
A lot of room for, a lot of margin for error on that first tee shot though. This one requires a bit more pace. Yeah, I would probably go about halfway into that shadow.
Nice shot.
And that gives a chance at the 2.
That. Hell of a shot, Jay. That's got to be some sort of beetle or something.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I would say a shocking amount of people have actually converted that 2.
Another one?
It might get the beetle, but you do want to err on the side of hitting this shot too hard anyway, and when you do err on the side of hard, it does give that one a bit of a chance to go in. And you see, you also wanted to do a little bit of bouncing, which neither of those did there. Or of those last 2. Right, that was hole 13.
We're all tied. The scorecard's wild.
We are all tied up at 16 down. Good observation.
Nice.
Going into hole 14. This hole is fairly easy to get the 2, but if you really want to try for the ace, well, you're in rare company because only one person in the weekly has actually aced this.
Ooh.
It will become eligible not after this tournament, but the one after. And if no one still has, if still only that one person has been the only ace, they will receive a unicorn badge for that, I believe.
Awesome.
Looks like nobody's really trying for the ace this time. You got to get a bit of pace, bounce off that stair, the red wall on that spiral staircase, and bounce all the way over to the button, bouncing off the bricks and traveling down on that slope into the cup. All right, and we are going into the next two holes are considered the riskiest holes on the course. That means that they have the largest variation. You can go for the ace, and a lot of people get it. 9% of people.
I
Hold on
think
a second.
it went.
Hold
It
on a
was
second.
too far that it went through the wall.
Oh, you
and
went
it bounced
over.
out.
No,
Yeah.
look. Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
That one
He had a
blasted
great
off.
shot. He got robbed on that.
Oh,
Goodbye.
yeah, we do that.
The layup is worth considering. 48% of people do get a 2
God damn,
here,
I missed it.
and only
Completely.
9% ace it. If you can ace this on more than 50% of your attempts, then it's pretty
That's
obvious it's worth going for. Now, you can also have a mistake like Derby does hit there and still convert the 2 after the missed shot. But you can get unlucky like some of these have been and get a pop glitch or a button not pressing for some reason.
Oh my god.
Mm.
And then you gotta find a way to ramp it up into the spaceship from there.
Why didn't I just do my normal fucking shot, dude? God damn.
Sometimes match play audibles backfire.
Get the fuck up there. Oh, come on.
Oof.
Hit the ball, idiot.
Very close.
Fucking way down here some fucking where. This
Now, Karma's not happy with his effort, but the trick about this hole is that you can't. It's not easy to
I
determine
knew I
how
was gonna
many
get tripped up on
times.
this hole. This is a scary hole. I don't know why it's a
And-
scary hole. It just is.
it's a
It's hard to
fucking
determine
hole
how
in
many
one hole.
times and at what
Yeah.
angle that ball
Should be.
is going to bounce as it
Damn
travels
right it
through the
should be.
channels there.
No fucking
True.
excuses.
Nice shot.
The most gentle pace shot will ricochet more smoothly off of the walls and get into the spaceship easily, but you actually have to hit it with quite a bunch of pace if you really want to cover a wider range of potential paths of travel that the ball can take to get there. Oh, that is exceedingly unlucky. That took a random bounce and left out of play. Okay, and you can see that one maybe only bounced like 2 or 3 times and it went directly in. So that needed less power than the other attempts. And now we're looking at hole number 16, the other considered the riskiest hole on this course. You want to hit that middle panel. Hit the back exactly like that. Dribble down the side.
Good one.
Wow, that is a shot.
That's perfect execution there. And I think that should go as well.
Good one.
Excellent.
That was a little more center cut. That is erring on the side of being right. That one's not quite gonna go. Oh, it does
This one's
too.
going
Okay.
in Karma's montage clips.
This is one that
Get it.
you.
Get it. We
Wow,
should do all
all
three
of them
play
hit
at
it.
once. That was incredible.
So that was excellent because let's see,
Fucking
only
fraud, man. I can't believe this shit.
10%.
That's what I did on the last
no,
one.
no. 46% ace that. So that's good that our players all managed to do that.
It's one hole. It's behind us. We all rebounded with a nice
But
ace there.
The 3 is very possible there too. Okay. Here's another interesting stat. This is hole number 17. It's not very risky because it's not hard to make the 3. But actually a fair number of players are able to catch the 2. 8% have recorded historically a 2 on this hole from banking it around in the back there.
Don't be
Well,
shellfish.
well,
Thanks.
Twice as many have taken a 4. But the 5 and 6 is very rare. You can, there's a glitch here that can swallow the ball.
Oh, shit.
into the staircase. If that error does happen to you, just take a video of it, and Jorge will likely retract that score from your that stroke from your scorecard. Now, on what Derby looks like he's lining up kind of a straight into the curve approach, trying to get a
Good
reflection
one.
off of the wall. That is a nice way to take it.
Nerd GBT was telling me this shot today under the pillar.
Fucking just sits there.
Yeah, I'm not precisely sure what Karma's talking about. We'll see. Maybe that's the straightaway approach. I actually do like it banking immediately to the right of where the ball lies.
It sounded like he was meeting people under somewhere.
Auspicious
Just meeting up with
circumstances.
Nerd.
We allow that. Well, this hole is showing how easy it is to take for granted. Getting in that staircase is like one of the simplest things to do, and yet if you don't execute the shot, it can cost you a stroke. That's worth a little bit of practice. Okay.
Wow.
Oh,
That
holy
is-
shit, you got screwed.
Oh,
Wow.
that's gonna cause a comment.
That's the best shot on hard course, but on the easy course, that's awful.
Beautiful.
Oh, shit.
You can see how difficult that pace is, so no one's quite attempting the approach I do, but just before that wall, right at the start of that wall to the right, that's the one I like to take. A little bit hard to describe with words.
Not
Well,
one, but 2 5s.
This round is
Hell
showing
yeah.
that the course does have teeth, that you can lose strokes,
What?
no doubt. Now, another actually
wanna
fairly
play this
impressive
shit.
stat
Nice shot.
Wow.
is how many people manage a 2 on this 18th hole.
And I missed the
Nearly
ball a few
half
times.
of players at 48% have managed the 2 here. Just hit that thing hard enough. Dial up to 100%. Go into practice and find a spot you like to aim for that works well to hit all those buttons. And then be able to accommodate for shots like that that miss 1 or 2 of the panels. See if you can recuperate.
Just barely there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't get fucking bogeys.
I'd love to see Lightning Bro bank
Yeah.
this correctly. It's hard to get the pace correct. It's hard to get the spot right. This is not an easy shot at all, but doable. That was just a bit
Yep.
bad, but he needed pace to get the angle like that, so I don't blame him for erring on that side. 41% take it through, so he's not in bad company. As we go into start the next round at Arizona Modern, we've got Derby at a 24, Karma 23, JC 21, Lightning Bro 19.
Very close.
Great scores from these guys. We're going to
Let
head
me know whenever
into
you guys,
Arizona
got
Hard
pictures and
for
I'll take
round
us
2.
out.
I'm hoping somebody's posting.
If nobody else wants to, I can post it, yeah. I got you. But take a backup picture just in case. Whatever. Take us out. You guys good to go?
Yep.
Always.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I'll take us in.
In my way.
Arizona Modern Hard. This is a classic course, one of the originals. It's been played 15 times, if you can believe it. There
I
are a
can.
bunch of unicorns available, but honestly, they're so freaking difficult that it's almost not worth mentioning them. This is one of the unicorns available, but you know, to me, I consider the two on this hole to be
That's close.
a partial miracle. Matter of fact, only 13% of players have managed to get the two on this hole, and because
Wow.
it's been played, yeah, well, I didn't do the calculation, but thousands of times. That's a pretty good estimate of how likely you are to let that ball trickle just in the right spot, as Lightning Bro does.
Shot.
It's just a luck hole, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You still gotta hit the right pace to get it to fall there, though.
It's true. Yeah, you got to give it a chance.
JC offers the pat on the back, and Lightning Bro does not
try.
accept it.
Oh.
He says this hole is luck only, and you know, I don't blame him. There's a bit of idea about technique.
Move on. Can't be angry with it.
Some believe you should trickle it off the edge as lightly as possible, and others think at least you want to do a double bank inside that little circle chamber. One interesting thing to note about Arizona Modern is they've recently revamped the like color saturation, the lighting, the contrast. Some of those you know, like photographic elements have been adjusted, and what you'll notice when you look down this hole is it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. There's kind of a triangle on the back that forces the ball forward. All right, on hole 2, this is the easiest hole on the course, but it's also never been aced.
Oh, damn it. Bad cut.
Really?
81% of players manage their here. You can get caught up by those bricks if you're fairly unlucky. I've seen it happen. And you want to be able to recover from that shot if you are unlucky enough to have that happen. It's not terribly intuitive how one escapes being only past that first curve, because that brick at the very apex of the second loop, or the second half loop, can block a lot of shots. You want to be able to send the ball through the center, and it's not the easiest shot ever. And if you don't practice that and find yourself unlucky enough to be only halfway around that fairway, you will remember that Lean Into It recommended that you practice that shot. Okay, hole 3.
Lane facts.
The ace is possible here, but very challenging. You have to risk a little bit of both your pace and angle. You almost want to bounce twice, maybe even 3 times. But Karma freaking nails it. One of only
Going into the montage
2%
clips for
of
him.
players that have managed to accomplish that, and he did it with a single freaking bounce on the concrete. Now that may be the first time I've seen it.
Well, this is, I'll interject
go
here.
in
This
with
is,
only a single bounce.
Oh,
It's usually
shit.
like a double or triple, as I was
you
saying.
can't hear me. So much for the professionalism. This is one of
He's
Karma's
laughing at Jen.
favorite
Something tells
courses.
me I
So
didn't
we'll
say
see how he
anything
does.
funny, but
The hole in one
sometimes
is
I do
awesome.
incidentally. Okay, I go for the 2 here. I don't really try for the ace, but 66% of players do manage to get this 2. And if you add the 2% that do manage to ace it, then 2/3 of players do get a 2 or better. Okay, we're coming up on a fascinating hole. This is hole 4, par 4. And getting the birdie here feels like a great accomplishment. Not only is getting this ball up on the green from the fairway difficult, but even converting the putt up that hill is not exactly a walk in the park. I really like where Derby placed that. That gives him a fairly nice angle to go up that channel there. You can take a much riskier approach. Ooh, as JC leaves him in the center here. I'm not sure if he intended to do that, but we'll see how well see if he wants to take his medicine and go for the par, or if he wants to go around the other side and show our folks at home another approach. Lightning's Bro is going to have that same exact choice. Does he want to go around the back side of the green to try and skip it up the rock?
Oh, what the fuck was that? Come on.
And Karma had the
What happened
unlucky event of a pop glitch that occurred as the ball left that flat surface. The ball immediately jumped, which is colloquially referred to as the pop glitch.
Nice shot.
It can happen for no reason at all. When the ball is like changing from one surface to the other, that glitch can happen. And JC is going to take this risky approach.
Oh,
Wow.
Now I
Damn,
gotta decide whether I try it or not.
He gave it a...
That's not normally a fucking.
now you got options. You can go left or right.
Whatever.
You got the shot that you can hop it over here too, but that's also it's a tough pace.
Probably why I do that one.
Just a little harder than that, and you're in there. I hit it on the corner too, man. You don't want to hit it on the corner. That's not a hard shot, but you don't want to have to kill it.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
bad.
Oh,
Way too much.
Let me just see what happened here in the last one. I mean, that's a glitch. That's not supposed to hop like that.
No, that ball jumped. I saw it.
Am
when
I
you hit it,
wrong? Is
Carmen.
that's a fucking glitch right
That's
there.
glitch.
I mean, hell, it did jump before
The
it
aliens
even hit the
exist.
hill.
This is proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Karma is not wrong. That's just an unfortunate glitch.
I'm
You
hitting
have
this
to
one
just-
soft because I don't know what to do anymore.
Alright.
as the X-Files theme comes up. The truth is out there. Trust no one.
I want to
Derby,
believe.
Derby Dawes manages the birdie there. You love to see it. Now, how many? What
Same
percentage
pace.
players
Same
do you think
pace.
get that 3 there?
I rather
There
low.
you go. Yep.
Just watching this.
Less than a third, 29%, and I mean those are the best in the world. So,
Of course. Fuck
It's not.
well, Karma's showing the highs and the lows within a 2-hole span.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
No, I think
after you've been abducted from
that's gonna
aliens
be
and
a fucking
probed,
shit show.
you need a little bit of time to readjust.
Unfortunate.
Some of our fine players here are experiencing the full brunt of the probe.
So close.
Well, this is my number one issue. I won't ever quit.
It really is.
I'd have stroked out on it if I had to.
That's how committed he was.
It's a flaw, man. It's not proud of it, but it's just is what it is.
He's a man
You
of
see that a lot.
principles. All right, as we go into hole number 5, the most likely ace
I
on the
swear,
course.
dude, I'm gonna fucking blow every game I play in these tournaments. I never fucking perform.
Good job.
It's hard not to get down on yourself when you've worked so hard over the course of like
Nice
an hour or so,
Mm-hmm.
and in the span of one hole, you kind of undo a lot of that progress. What I
Yeah.
hope is that he can he can reflect after the round and find ways to adapt. Now, had he decided to lay up and take a 4 there, maybe his round would have been saved. He would have lost a stroke according to 29% of the fields, but he would have kept himself in this tournament if he's identifying as
Go
a
on.
stubborn person.
Yeah,
at
good
this
shot.
point,
That was
but
tight.
we
Could have easily went wrong.
Nice shot,
If you
White.
if you take an L, you have to decide whether you turn that into a lesson. Okay, one of my favorite holes on the course, just because it's so satisfying to actually convert this birdie. Hole number 6 is a really fun 2 to get. The common way to do it is to go wide from the first corner, up the hill a fair bit, get a nice bounce off the wall. That's too close to the wall. That's going to be very, very hard to get.
I'm just shooting.
Karma has a better shot at it. Now Derby is going the left side route, but this hole is not perfectly symmetrical, so I actually
I
find
don't see
that
many people go right.
you don't, because again, this is not symmetrical. The cup is not exactly in the center. I think it's going to be more difficult for him to find the pace to get that in the cup for 2. Karma. That was exactly what he's doing.
I tried to bank it. I screwed myself on the tee.
Now let's see if Derby can find the correct pace. He's got to get up that wall just a little bit to dribble it down in. But, you know, if he's practiced this enough, it's going to be no problem for him.
Oh, jeez, you got robbed.
See another broken club. Was talking about rage quitting earlier. It could be the hole.
He's a patient guy. He's going to make it. He's going to eat that stroke and not blink. And he's... Okay, now I find hole number 7 to probably be the most frustrating hole on the course, because you're depending on a lot of glitches not to happen. The ace is fairly rare here. Exactly 1 player has ever aced this hole. That was in season 3, week 7. I've only hit it in practice. But the 39% manage a 2 on this hole. There's 2 general approaches. We're going to see the soft approach from Derby here.
Stay up there. Nice shot, Derby.
If you can hit the pace and line perfect on that, it's probably the better way to go.
Also a very nice shot.
But if you're too soft, you can see it won't give you a line. I think if I were smart, I would practice that approach more. But so far, I've only practiced hitting it really hard, going around all 3 loops, which is also the only way to convert the ace on this one. And try and take that unicorn away from, who is that person? Is it McLovin? Is that what it says?
Oh yeah. JC almost had a flyby there.
Okay, we're looking at hole number 8. This is the second riskiest hole on the course. That means there's a wide distribution of scores on this hole. The 2 is not the hardest thing to get. 25% of players do manage to get, or have managed to get the 2. 35% the 3.
Wow.
Get back, get back. Oh, shit. What a shot there.
I'll take that.
You know what? This is, I would say, the most likely unicorn to happen. There are several ways to get to this ace. And I'm actually a little surprised that it's never been done before. It can happen somewhat incidentally with a single bank, with a triple bank off the first few walls. I saw Meadham posted like a triple to double to like basically a triple, which got in the cup, and it looked really, really clean. I try to do what Karma does there. Just take a single bank, try and get a line. If you don't get it, you've got a really difficult bank shot to get off the right side of that channel. Nice putting stroke from Derby.
Nice too.
Mm-hmm.
F2.
Yeah, take him out, we can get him.
Yeah, plenty of bad luck, don't we?
Shit.
I wouldn't worry too much about what's deserved or
maybe?
undeserved. This game it gives and takes, and that's just the nature of the beast.
Blink twice if you agree with me. No, I'm just kidding. It's just a potato. I can't blink. There's no eyes.
I do have eyes. I've been hanging out in the closet too long. In the pantry.
Oh, what are you doing?
That was a tough one. Yeah, no margin for error. I'm not even sure if he had a full line there, but
It turns out that banking it off the other wall is probably harder than trying to squeeze by what he had anyway. Even though I couldn't see the line, that the pace to go off that concrete wall is just exceedingly difficult. And we're looking at hole number 9, another par 4.
ooh, this is brutal.
I'm sorry, I called being done with this hole too early.
Nice.
Okay. Breathe, focus, putt, success. I don't know where this hole is going.
Down 2 levels to the ground there. We're gonna see Derby go all the way down with this shot. Well, that was
very
a unlucky corner hit. That can happen. Now 50% of players do manage to get this too. And some like to go off the back here. This is a double banker on the outside. Now the pace is harder to get, but you encounter fewer walls, just like we saw Derby unluckily hit. So that if you can get the pace correct like JC just did, that's a fairly safe option to take. I prefer the straight approach like we saw Karma just take, as long as you give yourself a little bit of room for the error there. Probably not too much needs to be said about this hole. We've played this one 100 times.
A little side kick off the wall.
I'm almost learning on this hole.
That
Give me the facts.
Now, I've got one fact. Lightning Bro has an extremely tough putt to try and make from up there. Just to even visualize the line that he has to hit is really tough. You have to kind of fly behind the ball and try and find the line. But the pace is much harder than the line even. Look at this. Is just it's going to be the shot of the day if he gets this in.
Get in there.
Get it. Oh, damn.
And that was
Not
an
an easy shot at all, dude.
No.
Well, hole 10
And there's
offers
just
a lot of options.
Which route do you take? There's so many.
This hole has never been ace.
Oh,
And you got the invisible ramp. Yep. Another one.
I
Unbelievable.
don't need any fucking help, man. God.
The Pop Shot loves this hole, which is one reason why
Not doing any favors either. That's fucking fantastic.
Hey. So we're seeing the pop glitch claim multiple victims on live coverage here. You know, the most recent update by
That's a serial killer.
by Mighty Coconut has fixed quite a number of glitches. I get very few of them during the rounds now, but the pop glitch
Might be
remains
different. I'm gonna go that way.
one of those
Smart man.
devil in the details there. Now, I really prefer Lightning Bro's approach here too, but you got to practice the heck out of that one to get the pace and spot just perfect. For those who aren't as practiced, going through the dirt is often the preferred method.
Oh, jeez.
But you can see it's
Shit, just went for the
kind of
bunch of.
unforgiving.
I'm committed.
Yeah, I feel like I would definitely stroke out on this
Terrible
hole.
shot. That's fantastic.
Holy shit. It came
What the?
What the fuck is that?
Just came all the way back.
Bless you in the production,
Alright,
guys.
must-
Great shot.
That was a nice confident stroke from Derby to get across.
All right.
32% of players managed to get that too. And that means anything less can be hard to swallow, but this hole has a lot of variation.
That's a good one.
You can card a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of those have happened on this hole, and it's not surprising why.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna switch back to that fucking bank. I'm gonna leave that dirt alone.
I agree with JC completely there. But again, that hole's never been aced. If you really want to try for the ace, you actually have to go on the dirt around the outside of the light. That one's really tough to make, but I've seen some make it in practice. As we come upon the most boring hole in the game.
The most boring hole in the game.
The easiest,
Get in
probably
there.
the easiest par 4. I hope no one misses it.
Oh shit! That was suspenseful.
Jesus.
80.
He added some excitement to this hole, which you don't often get.
87%.
Yeah,
of
no,
the
That's one
players.
way to look at it.
boring rolling.
I do
You
always
make the
take this hole as
eagle.
an opportunity to, like, you know, take a drink or smoke or whatever you fancy, you know?
All of the above. I'll take D,
I've heard some
E, and
good.
F.
See, I might take this time to do some lean facts. and-
Lee. Facts. I love it.
I don't know if I have many lean facts about this hole, but I will say that I've heard players propose a potential alternate, like option, like optional design, that if they made a hole somewhere around where Karma's ball was about here, if you created like a hole in one option at the top of that curve, that'd be kind of fun to try and make.
1 inch to the right of the cup.
Make this hole a little bit more interesting. As it is now in doubles, unless it's competitive, we typically forfeit this hole just to move on with our lives.
I could see that happening.
It is possible to miss, as you see that 13% of players have missed it, and they were subjected to much ridicule. Deserved ridicule.
True. Don't let up. Keep the pressure on him.
And we follow up that little nap with our riskiest hole on the course, number 12. You can take any score on this hole.
That's funny, I don't know
3%
anything
of
for this hole,
players
so I'm just gonna
manage
try what
to
I did
ace.
last.
I go for it every time
3%.
on this hole.
19% get a 2.
Go for
12% get a 3.
You bank it off
32% get a 4.
this back wall.
20% get a 5.
Pops
7%
once,
get
then
a
sometimes
6.
twice, and then goes in the hole.
7% get worse than a 6. There are 3 ways
shot.
to approach
Saw that?
this.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Just like that.
wow.
Fucking good shot, dude.
Apologies to the committee, but I think he deserved that shot. Hell of a shot. I mean, that's
Yeah.
insane. It's not an easy shot. You made it look easy, but that's not an easy shot. I'm just always happy if I can get up there.
Well, it didn't seem like it was a shot he normally did either, so that was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Probably my first time ever attempting it.
Better watch that replay and see where you hit it.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's get a courtesy replay after Derby hits. Stay up there.
A very
back that
notable
beautiful
feature
hole
of Lightning Bros' make here is that he bounced
Yep,
on the dirt
right off
first.
that right
That
side
is
of
really
the
the
rock.
one, and you
Great
hit the
shot,
one
dude.
bouncer, so you had a perfect pace on that. Unbelievable shot.
Yeah, you couldn't have hit that any better, man. That was perfect.
The the much more common way to attempt that ace is making the first bounce on the concrete and then taking the second bounce on the dirt. So the fact that that cleared all of the concrete surface first makes it really rare for it to bounce in like that. So in a way, he actually attempted a safe 2 and accidentally got the 1. That's another way of looking at that. And I say that for informative purposes only. We want to see one more replay.
We want to see one more replay.
We're not going to get it.
Not today.
A fantastic shot right up the center. That was not easy to do at all. This is hole number 13. And as difficult as the pace is to find on that shot,
get in the hole.
Somehow 50% of players do manage a 2 on this hole. I think that's pretty shocking.
Get the fuck in there.
Get it.
Karma was trying to be one of only 2% of players to manage the ace here. That was really close.
Oh, no.
It'll be really interesting to see how Derby tries to navigate this. If he can get up and down from here, I think it would be pretty miraculous, but even if he can get a 4, it's fine. That's a really tough spot to be in. I really commend his composure here. He's not lost hope. He's still working on focusing and taking his time, which can be hard to do when you're disappointed. That's a really nice putt there for the par. Well, I'd say number 14 is really an infamous hole for novice players. It can be really tricky to hit that brick. 40% of players do manage to get this 2. But 37% of players take a 3. Now, I think what intermediate to advanced level players typically do is note the white scar channel that's visible directly from the ball on the route that this should be traveling. This is one of the first holes that I learned to identify a target based on a feature on the fairway itself, instead of just trying to hit the brick, but trying to use the actual dots on the surface.
Nice. Ooh, look at this.
And if you're trying to be very precise about where your ball is traveling, well, you've got to use dots. You don't absolutely have to, but it's one way to increase the specificity of your target. There's no give up in Derby. Hole 15, probably the next most aced hole on this course. You can do it a very slow way, or you can do it a little faster. That was too fast, unfortunately, but 20% do manage to catch the ace here.
Going for the bank, calling glass.
Okay, Karma's going to try to bank off the back surface and go in. I would say that's a slightly safer, but less likely to ace than the dribble shot. Dribble meaning you just get the pace perfect to hit the apex of that loop and crawl around the outside. What we're seeing Derby, we get there, but not quite make the perfect pace for.
Good shot, Jay.
This is a perfect execution of the dribble shot.
Hold on.
Ooh, I'll have what he's having.
Are you a dribbler?
In my sleep, mostly. But no, when we talk about finite pace, is a skill I lack.
So you like to go for maybe the safer bank off the back of that. I think that's smart for the 2. 56% of players manage a 2 here, and that makes 76% of players get a 2 or better. It is a hard pill to swallow if you have to get a 3 there, but 16% of players do. This is a
Great
wonderful
shot.
ace to
Yeah,
catch,
Wow.
back.
Man,
as JC does manage to be... Let me get the numbers for you here. One of only 11% of players to catch that ace. It's difficult pace and location, but it's not a very risky hole. It's actually an exceedingly low risk hole, so going for the ace doesn't come with a lot of danger.
that was left. What?
75% of players do get a 2. That makes 86% of players get a 2 or better, and only 14% don't quite manage that. Going into hole 17, our penultimate hole for this weekend. This is a difficult ace to get. 2% of players manage to get it. And you know what? Only 49% of players actually manage this too. And that's in part because that little tiny bump can make that putt from the back of the green a little tricky. And it is much tougher when you're on the side like that. It's much easier when you're going straight at it. We'll see if Derby can convert that.
Get it? Oh,
That's one reason why I don't really go for the ace on this hole, because I like to have a straight up approach to the cup, like JC basically has here.
See, I always find a
kinda
way to
weird.
fuck up. I'm telling you, dude. I can't. I mean, that's just can't miss
oh
those.
come on, man. What the
I
fuck?
understand.
Ah.
I feel responsible, Karma.
No, that's all me.
Fucking shit
I
shot
was like,
right
come
in
on,
front of
man. I mean, I'm myself. I'm always talking to myself.
That was definitely JC's fault.
Get in the dirt. Nice shot.
Way to go, Derby.
Beautiful shot.
Apparently,
Great shot.
lightning can strike
Great
twice.
shot.
And
You know, we're very tough on ourselves out here as players, but I think that's alright. That's how you get better.
We love all of our players.
I don't want to get much better. I just want to perform the way I should.
I hear you.
it should
I just
come
don't
as no
think I can.
surprise
I'm not good
that
enough.
our
my God.
that was
I'm at my
unbelievable
peak.
execution
That looks pretty good there.
Fucking
from Derby to try his hand at the 3 here. Of course, this hole's never been aced, but only 12% managed the 3. It's because the second shot requires precision and
That was a good shot, dude.
distance.
I don't
First.
even fully understand how it would be physically possible to get it in a hole-in-one.
Great shot. Oh no. Oh,
It's
Yeah,
alright.
it
I can deal with
it
that.
requires a ridiculous shot that starts backwards, hits the post of the rail, and just dribbles along the side of the concrete and happens to hit another rail near the green, hops onto the green from there, and gets in that cup. It's just ridiculous.
Wow. Okay.
We'd love to see Derby be one of the 12%. He takes a really nice, safe approach.
Gotta look. Good shot.
Nice.
And
Great
leaves
shot there.
himself a look. He doesn't get too greedy and try and find the garden spot on that green. Really smart play from Derby, and he's kept his composure this whole round, despite the challenges he's faced. He's at a minus 17 now.
Too
We've got
hard.
Karma at a
Yep.
20, JC at
Ooh.
18, and Lightning Bro at a 15.
I think that one's going into the Granny Canyon.
Well, About that. Slow down, ball.
This second shot is another shot that I think is aided quite a bit in finding a dot or a couple structures of dots to make your second shot a little bit easier to line up.
Too scared.
Just a little.
The other
Damn,
visual,
So far right.
No.
the other visual aid available on this second shot is the shadow cast by that pillar obstructing the fairway.
What the hell, man?
I swear, dude. Take the good hole. Finish strong.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, I wouldn't advise it, but Karma could actually go backwards here and bank off
Just
the other
thinking
pillar back here to get himself a more of a direct line, but he seemed he can get himself a line to the cup. And he actually did give himself a line, so that was a really good play.
Wow.
Double bogey. Gonna be a 16. Hell yeah.
Come on, Karma, hit that.
Ooh. That's one of the montage clip.
Yes.
What did we get? Bunch of heads. Just a potato I want to see. I've got eyes, you know.
Good game, guys. It was a
Tight.
grind.
Just as the last one.
6-4-6. 2 double bogeys. Good stuff.
Well played, gentlemen. Well played.
That was fun.
Yeah, good game, guys. Good game, Carmen.
Yeah.
Catch you next
Thanks,
time.
back.